Last night, I ended up watching The Babysitter on Netflix. And wow. I'm actually pleasantly surprised at how entertaining that movie was. And I'm also glad that I didn't read what it was about before I watched it. I went in blind. I knew it was about a babysitter. That's it. I didn't know who did what, why they were doing it, nothing. I went in totally blind, and it was a really good movie. It was funny. It started off like with a very 90s teen movie vibe with the typical teenagers, jocks, douchebags, bullies picking on the nerdy kid, the hot girl. So it started out like that, but it took a turn that I did not expect. I was completely shocked. I liked it so much that I ended up watching part 2. And even though I liked part 2, I didn't like it the way I liked part 1 because they changed some aspects of it. I didn't like that they added a supernatural element to it because the first one, like everything that happened in it could happen. Like it's far-fetched that any of that stuff would happen, but it could happen. You know what I'm saying? But then the second one, they started reaching because it got too like supernatural. They added like magic into it. And I was like, why would they do that? Just added a whole element of corn to the movie that it did not need. Ain't nobody disappearing in a poof of black smoke. Like, what is this, an episode of Charmed? It got kind of dumb and not believable. So I didn't love part 2. It was still an interesting story and it was entertaining enough to keep me watching, but it wasn't the same vibe as part 1. I feel like it was probably a different writer. People love to just throw razzle dazzle on stuff like, ooh, I'll write part 2, but wait, let's add magic to it. Like, let's not. But I definitely feel like The Babysitter is worth watching. It had everything you needed for a horror comedy. It was like a horror comedy teen movie. And it was fun. You could definitely watch it with your teenagers. I wouldn't recommend it for small kids because it had some gore and it had a few like sexual innuendo jokes. But if you got mature kids, maybe like a mature 11, 12-year-old could probably watch it. But I wouldn't let like an 8-year-old watch it. It's worth the watch. I give Babysitter an 8 out of 10 ghosts, and Babysitter Killer Queen, I give a 6 out of 10 ghosts. So what I watched was The Babysitter from 2017. But while searching on Google for a poster image of that movie, I discovered that there's another version of The Babysitter starring Alicia Silverstone from like back in the day. I don't even know if it's about the same thing, but now I feel like I need to watch that. Tonight, I think I'm going to watch Blink Twice. But don't hold me to that. It's a possibility though.